Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinematic Escape on YouTube. I am your host Izzy. Anyone who is new to the channel just happen to find it through the YouTube search engine and you like what you see, feel free to hit the subscribe button below and spread the word to your friends and family. Anyone who isn't new and still likes my work, thank you, and please spread the word if possible. Today's review is based off the 2015 surprise thriller hit, The Gift, starring Jason Bateman, Joe Egerton, and Rebecca Hall. Written and directed by Joe Egerton. And now anyone who's familiar with Joe Egerton, he also was in Black Mass, which is an amazing film as well. I do recommend that. Anyone who is familiar with Jason Bateman knows that he's been in a myriad of lots of comedic series and comedy films. I've always enjoyed Jason Bateman's work. His sense of humor reminds me a lot of myself in regards to how he just has a very dry, sarcastic, and his comedic timing is just impeccable. And to see him in a serious film caught me off. It still, to this very day, catches me off guard because I'd never really recognized or noticed him in any type of serious films. And honestly, I was surprised that I recognized him in Dodgeball, a true underdog story. I did not know that was him until I watched the film recently, and I was like, wow, Jason Bateman has come a long way. Rebecca Hall, anyone who's familiar with her knows that she was also she was in the Iron Man 3, and she's a very talented actress as well, has a very true sense of conveying the proper amount of emotions within her films. The Gift is a thriller with the basic plot line of Simon, who was married and has a baby on the way and has a very lucrative job through the midst of having and getting ready to experience family bliss, if you will, this mysterious figure from his past emerges in the form of Gordo, who is played by Joe Egerton. And you're not exactly sure what Gordo's motivations are, because when you watch the trailer did next to nothing as far as exposing what the story was about. It made you truly believe that there's something far more sinister within the confines of Gordon than anything else. And the film did such an amazing job. Joe Egerton does a remarkable job at building up the necessary amount of tension. And if I'm not mistaken, this is his first directorial film. So for him to be able to successfully create a story and build upon that tension and really expose nothing about the story in and of itself showcases a true sense of how the director understands storytelling, how the director understands acting, and how the director understands not trying to beat the audience over the head with a specific twist, if you will. As I mentioned before, I had no idea that Jason Bateman could act. As I mentioned, he was always the type of actor that I've always recognized as far as his comedic roles were concerned. Because I loved him in Horrible Bosses. I mean, I loved him in Office Christmas Party. I loved him in even in the Horrible Bosses sequel. He just, to me, I have yet to watch Arrested Development, so I do have to give that a shot at some point. Eventually, I will in the future. But when it all comes right down to it seems like comedic actors have the best ability at capturing a specific seriousness as far as emotionality is concerned, and they seem to have an easier transition into the world of serious roles compared to action stars who are trying to find a way to allow cinema to take them seriously by placing themselves into serious roles. The Gift, as I mentioned, is one of those type of films that literally it presents the very notion of how the consequences that a person can take, what a person experiences, whether it's myself, you, or anyone else. Every reaction has a consequence. At some point or another, regardless of what it is that we may have done, whether it's by accident or intentional, at some point or another, it has a tendency of reemerging in the most ugly fashion. And this film really paints that idea of presenting a story that is quite relatable to some people, myself included. And I remember when I watched this film and I was just completely mesmerized by the performances and the atmosphere and the tension and how it literally just builds to a crescendo to where everything that has occurred throughout the course of this film, it just has this significant purpose in terms of making sure that the audience understands exactly what's happening and what's about to happen. And Joe Egerton did an amazing job at making sure that the story remained cohesive and coherent and intricate and in actuality quite creepy. it's the trailer and the film was very deceptive in their marketing, because as I mentioned, you didn't necessarily have this Gordo, the character that Joel Edgerton plays, comes across as very needy, pushy, creepy, and when it's ultimately revealed as to what transpired in his life, it just takes you back. And that's, to me, that is the master purpose of making sure that a twist is, how can I put this? That a twist is not noticeable. A twist will actually catch you off guard. To me, Saw, Seven, and The Gift have some of the greatest twist revelations of all time in cinema. The performances in this film is absolutely top-notch and amazing. The story and the theme is just absolutely amazing and quite relatable. And just for all intents and purposes, this is something that I recommend for anyone who's interested in watching a true suspense thriller that is very Hitchcockian in its execution. And you simply cannot go wrong with this film. Just how every actor, well, Jason Bateman and Joel Edgerton and Rebecca Hall, how they literally just have this magnetic chemistry with one another, and just very electrifying, and you simply find yourself just immersed within this specific world and this realm of how at some point everything comes full circle. And when it does come full circle, it just leaves you absolutely stupefied, if you will, and breathless. And perhaps stupefied is the wrong word to use. It literally just leaves you with a sense of a wow factor that you cannot believe that you went on this emotional draining journey that just, for all intents and purposes, has no mercy. And I love that about this film. It didn't play it safe. It literally just laid it all out there for everybody to witness, and it's just emotionally jarring. And I loved everything about this film. I highly recommend it. Anyone who hasn't watched this film, it's a must-watch for me, in my opinion. And anyone who has watched this film, I would definitely greatly appreciate it if you let me know what you thought about it in the comments section. Provide a like if you want to, and provide a like in the comment section on my YouTube and my Facebook. This is one of those type of films where I think it generates the necessary discussion as to what happens when karma has a way of letting people know how she eventually will have her day, and that she will never let them forget what they've done, whether it's in the past, in the present, or sometime in the future. Obviously, it's that type of film that really has a story that I think everybody needs to experience at some point or another. And that is my review of The Gift. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please let me know once again in the comment section of my YouTube channel what you thought about it, and provide a like if you want to. And again, provide a like and a comment on my Facebook page. And you'll be here for me again, my friends. And I hope you guys remain safe and healthy. Take care and peace out.